going on, guys? Welcome to my episode 7, the final episode of Derek Jeter documentary review, The Captain. So, this was a great appreciation episode. Watching it, you feel the tears flowing through the eyes, bittersweet feeling because this was the last episode of the documentary. I didn't want the documentary to be over with. I wanted to see more. However, you feel the great appreciation for it, especially to Derek Jeter for his marvelous career, played the game with great respect, carried himself with ultimate professionalism and mannerism, and he has handled everything in a right way possible. And just can't thank enough to Derek Jeter. Thank you. The episode started off with the couple minute prologue of showing Derek Jeter's parenthood. His parents make these rules, sign a contract. In order to play sports, you must obey that contract. You have to stay above this certain GPA in order to play sports. Then shifts to Derek Jeter, who is now a parent, how he shared his experience of his lifetime from his childhood days, baseball career to now, who is a parent, and show the glimpse of detail mostly on this episode later on. Then I love this quote when he said, Derek Jeter, treating people with respect, demanding respect in return. Derek Jeter's stance been very, very consistent throughout this documentary, and it's been another show in this episode where he wanted the respect that he deserved, but also he give you the respect back where you deserve. And that's why I take from that quote as a good quote from Derek, and just admire his respectful stance and position. You really do. Then it shifts to Derek Jeter's final game at Yankee Stadium, late September of 2014. Appearance from Buck Showalter, Michael Kay, Susan Waldman, Derek's mother, Dorothy Jeter, where Dorothy said that Derek looked like a nervous wreck, and Derek said it. Teary eyes, didn't know how to get through the game, wanted the game to be over with, and watching that game as well that night, it was emotional, it was very sad by it, and it was farewell and say goodbye to the last one of the core four of the late 90s Yankees dynasty, and it's a bitter farewell as if unfolds where the Yankees had a 5-2 lead going into that ninth inning. David Robertson gave up 2 home runs to blow the save. Game is tied 5-5. Then Derek Jeter didn't know how to respond, but he recognized that moment where heading to the bottom of the ninth inning, run around second base, 1 out. Derek Jeter come to the play, and he said it, either going down as a good day or a bad day. And how could you not? Couldn't read a beautiful story ending script to Derek Jeter's career. Walk-off single to right field, 6-5, and Derek Jeter said it. Couldn't read a better script other than us winning a World Series. Then when that happened, they show Derek Jeter's great moments throughout, like Rookie of the Year, 2000 World Series, the flip play, countless of Derek Jeter's highlights simultaneously in that portion of the segment. I thought was very well done documentation, and Derek Jeter said it at the end of that segment where he wanted to be remembered as the shortstop of the New York Yankees, and he's go down as the one of the great Yankees players of all time, and one of the great shortstop to be played in baseball history, and really, really such a beautiful, amazing storybook ending to Derek Jeter's career. Then it moves on to Derek Jeter's family building, where Derek said in the portion of the segment, always admire, been a little bit somewhat jealous of teammates who have families and kids. Would have been cool if I had kids during my playing career, but it wasn't fair for future kids. That's what Derek Jeter said. Never crossed that line. My career came first. I wasn't ready for it. And you really understand his position. Like, it would have been cool if Derek had a kids during his playing career where his kids could have seen his great moments throughout his career. But also you understand his position where like it's a job and he wanted to like do his job first, and he had a lot of busy schedule and everything. So you really understand Derek Jeter's perspective in that point of view. Then Hannah Davis Jeter appearance. She was again prominent figure in this episode, and she shared the backstory of how Derek proposed to her. They got married, and right after they got married, both wanted to make family. Then Derek Jeter said this in this interview: best thing that I could experience is being a father, and I really admired that. Something that I really strive and cherish for it. Then next thing is Derek Jeter elected to Hall of Fame while showing the footage of Derek Jeter being drafted by the Yankees simultaneously. I thought it was a very cool sequence. Then I was kind of surprised by how Brian Cashman, who appeared, who was at the Derek Jeter's Hall of Fame induction day, where they had a moment with him where Derek said like the bad blood with Cashman doesn't exist anymore. Derek wanted to say to Cashman, have a new appreciation for some of the decisions you have to make. And Derek said that he needed that bad blood that go out there every day so he can prove people wrong during his playing career. But he wanted the Cashman to know that it was over and done with. I think at that point where Derek Jeter's competitive spirit is after his post career, so probably say it was gone. That's why he probably said it. But I was kind of surprised by it. Throughout the documentary, also Michael Jordan, another prominent figure in this episode, where he is proud of Derek Jeter, him as being a friend, him as being an all-time great athlete, and he said this in quote: "Without a doubt, Derek Jeter should be remembered as one of the best shortstop that ever played in the game." That's what he said. Then you move on to Derek Jeter's interest in ownership. Craig Mish, he's a Miami Herald columnist covering the Marlins. Like, he detailed the bad attendance of Marlins, like how every time the Miami Marlins or Florida Marlins win a World Series, they gutted their roster, fire sale. Then they detail about the Jose Fernandez that changed Jeffrey Loria, the owner at that time, like his genuine interest in owning the team died with him when Jose Fernandez died, and really that impacted a lot. Then throughout this documentary, where it was a very scary moment and scary story to listen, how Hannah had a health scare while she gave birth to Derek and her kids. Like, very, very frightening story to listen, and it's very, very scary. And while those health scare occurred during Derek Jeter's attempt to buy the Marlins, and it was too scary to like listen, and how I was very like horrified that she almost died from her story that she shared, and it was very, very scary. Then where Derek Jeter, who has become an owner, he said it changes needed, discussed about people are gonna be upset about, not a popular decision, and he said that he can't expect to trust me right away. It takes time to develop the trust, earn trust, always try to be upfront and honest. Then right off the bat, another fire sale from the Marlins, trading away Giancarlo Stanton, Christian Yelich, Marcelo Ozuna. Like, they completely gutted their roster because they were losing so much money, not making any attendance, they were losing fan base. So that's what they did. Not a popular decision, and wanted to like know more about Derek Jeter from an interview that why did you trade Giancarlo Stanton to the Yankees? You got a lot of people like heat from that decision where you're helping the old team, you're helping the Yankees out. I was like, I wanted to see like Derek Jeter's like specific like answer from this episode. Well, then had it, so I was kind of disappointed in that part, but it was a very kind of dark because how that Marlins franchise was an expansion team. Every time they win, they really gut it out and just like destroyed and like sent players away to other teams. They really started from scratch. Basically, that's what the Marlins been doing. Then they detail Derek Jeter's invention of the Players Tribune platform for athletes, where he said give athletes with a tool to help them tell their stories in an authentic, unbiased way. And I like how Reynolds said in his quote, Derek Jeter, true example of American changing. Like Derek Jeter now, who has become a very influential figure in America, who people has followed his leadership and his vision, and that's how he has become Derek Jeter. He hired so many women personnel when he was at the time owning the Marlins, like Caroline O'Connor, like hiring Kim Yang, the first female general manager in pro sports, like prominent things that Derek Jeter has done, even his days as an owner. And then they show the Yankees losing to the Marlins and having the Marlins clinch a playoff spot in that Yankees 2020 season, which kind of like made me sick. Just like not just lose to the Marlins because that's personally my team losing. That's about it. Then it moves on to the next season where the Marlins took a step back, huge step back, team exposed because long season, not having enough offensive firepower, but while people not still going to the game. Then where Derek Jeter stepped down as an owner, where it wasn't the vision he saw when he owned the Marlins in 2017, so he decided to step down. Hannah was upset about it, how the process took place, how it happened. They were upset by it, and it was more upsetting while it happened where Derek's best friend Gerald Williams passed away. Like Gerald Williams, one of Derek's closest friend, and losing him, it was hard for Derek, and he even said it. He was a special one. He was a special one. Then the last 5 minutes, it was beautiful. It was beautiful where a lot of interviewees talked about Derek Jeter and his career success, personality, his influence, impact, his inspiration that affected a lot of kids, everybody. Derek Jeter said at the end of this episode where his character flaw, like he gone through large portion of his adult life not enjoying the moment. It's been always what's next, what's tomorrow. That's why his character flaw is about. And Derek said at the end, he just wants to enjoy each day. Now reflecting the career, it's been a hell of a ride, but not over with. And that's how it ended. And this episode, yeah, it's kind of like sad to see and this documentary ended. It's bittersweet. I want to see more, but you feel the great thankfulness and appreciation to this whole documentary that you really cherish, and you learn a great life lesson of this individual, Derek Jeter, who carried himself in every grateful, respectful way, and you just can't admire enough and thank you enough to Derek Jeter, not just him as a baseball player, but as a person. You really are. So there you have it. That's my final episode review of the Derek Jeter documentary, The Captain. What do you think about it? Leave your thoughts. Stay tuned for the next video and see you in the next one.